New Orleans. Drew Brees has built a titanic NFL career for himself with big hands and a bigger heart. He's 6 feet tall in elevator shoes, and the fact that he could end his career with more passing yards and a higher completion percentage than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, the signature giants of his era, is no less stunning than the fact that 5'6" Jose Altuve could win the American League MVP award. Brees will turn 39 in January, and it sure looks like he'll be able to sling it around the Superdome for another year or 3. But a friend of his from New Orleans just lost his job a month before his 37th birthday. Eli Manning was benched for Geno Smith, and John Mara, the New York Giants owner who lorded over that unholy mess, reminded everyone of a cold NFL truth when asked whether he'd certify Ben McAdoo's employment as coach for the balance of the season. "There are no guarantees in life," Mara said. After falling to the Saints and into a hole in the NFC South, the Panthers need to get their offense clicking again to secure a spot in the playoffs. Cleveland is now 0-12 and in a great position to pick first overall in next April's draft. The 49ers and Giants, who have both won 2 games, are battling for the number 2 pick. There are no guarantees for an overmatched Coach McAdoo, a 2-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning or a 1-time Super Bowl MVP Brees. Sean Payton still has some fans in the Giants organization from his days as their offensive coordinator, and after nearly a dozen years in the same place, it isn't crazy to think the Giants would surrender a draft pick not this year's in case the Saints coach wants a change of scenery. Even working off the assumption that Payton stays in place, Brees might never again have running backs Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara as simultaneously healthy and dynamic as they are now. He might never again have his defense doing what it's been doing. He might never again have a Saints team capable of winning 9 of 10 games as it barrels toward a postseason tournament it appears good enough to win. "I like where we're at, but I feel like we can continue to get better," Brees said on Sunday when asked about this team's opportunity to match what happened 8 years ago, when he beat Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Brees had just helped the Saints put away Cam Newton's Panthers to secure first place in the NFC South, and had just passed Peyton Manning for second place on the all-time completions list by going 25 of 34 for 269 yards and a touchdown in the 31-21 victory. "There's still things I feel like we're leaving out there," Brees continued, "opportunities that we're leaving out there, that if we want to accomplish and go where we want to go, then we've got to continue to improve upon and get better at those things. But when you can walk away from games saying that and yet you still won, that's a good thing. Especially when this was considered a potential last dance season for Peyton and Brees, who were coming off 3 consecutive losing years. Peyton is protected some by his considerable contract, and Brees by his made-man standing and scoreboard tilting stats. But their marriage wasn't about to survive a 4th straight 7 to 9 year. That's no longer a concern, of course, with the 9-3 Saints making like a contender with grand designs. Peyton called Sunday a significant win because Carolina walked into the Superdome with an 8-3 record, too. The New Orleans defense contained Newton and the Panthers' running game when it mattered. Brees did his thing and the Saints' special teams wrecked Carolina's punt and punt return units. Peyton set a convincing tone on the game's first possession when he decided to go for 6 on 4th and goal at the 2-yard line. Kamara honored the coach's faith by taking Brees' pitch to the right and plowing his way home. "We're being aggressive," Brees said of the message sent by Peyton's gamble. "We came here to win." Ingram ripped off a 72-yard run and Kamara, a rookie 3rd-round pick, ran for 2 touchdowns and caught 5 passes for 66 yards. Outplaying Christian McCaffrey, a 1st-round pick. But if you were looking for signs that the 2017 Saints might be touched by stardust, a lightning-fast 3rd-string quarterback out of BYU was the better place to start. Taysom Hill made his NFL debut doing something he never did in high school or in college, assume the undignified role of kicking game madman. He nearly blocked a punt, made 2 tackles and earned a high five and a Cheshire Cat-like grin from Peyton, who told Fox's broadcast team of Troy Aikman and Joe Buck that he believes Brees' replacement was in the building. Meaning Hill, who is having the time of his life learning from an all-time great. "I get to see the way Drew practices, his habits, And it's easy to see why he's so good," Hill said. "The most valuable thing for me is his schedule, and he includes all the quarterbacks in that. So the way he prepares for a game,